How you doing, people? This is Tex Nolan, and this is going to be with the Farm Creators Guild. It's what I'm going to be showing here. The other guild that I'm part of happens to be my wife's guild, which happens to be the Homestead of Farmers, which is where this is going to be posted at inside the YouTube channel there. The thing of it is that I've had a couple questions in reference to guilds and how to figure out the guild um, level, how to figure out projects and what level the projects will work at and things like that. So I'm going to touch base on that and give you a complete outline here. I'm starting off the screen with the actual zoomed out so that way you can see all the different locations, which is right now I'm over top of Sundale here. And then over here's um, Golden Hills and then Copper Ridge over here. You have the island for the fishing. And then down here, you have the island for the guild. And that I'm going to talk about that just to give you an idea where it's at from um, Sundale, which would be right to the right. Now, this island for the guild, I'm going to click on the guild emblem there. It's going to bring us down to where it zooms in. We have several buildings along the boardwalk here next to the water, which is going to be where you can use the pink coins. Let me rephrase that: pink coins, which happens to have the handshake in it. Okay, so just to give you an idea where that's at, you can see that right there. Okay, and the buildings I'm referring to happens to be these guys right here. Okay, there's one more that's right over here. That's where you would use those pink coins. Okay, so just note that each one of these actually has a contributing factor. Like this one here happens to be Guild Hall, which is what will raise your levels by whichever. We're up to 17 now, and it costs the pink coins or handshake coins. The next one happens to be your loyalty points for projects. The next one is loyalty points for help. Add contributions for projects, help limit, and contributions for projects. Okay. I am a firm believer in giving back to the guild, so therefore the one I try to work on the most happens to be loyalty points for projects. So that way it gives you hearts. Okay, it increases your percentage of hearts that you can get, and that's where I sit at and say, okay, these are the things that you want to actually increase to give back to your guild members. Okay, between that one and this far one to the left, which is guild contributions, I also like to do. Now, I am a firm believer that you should check each one of these with the exception of the ad. The advertisement, that's at the beginning of projects. This is one that I don't say check on right off the bat. I do say you need to check it and do one, but you'll see that it starts off at 20,000. So it's a little bit more on the difficult side to get there, but at the same time, it is something that does help. And there are plenty of people that do watch the ads. Okay, but right this moment we have each one of these actually has something on them, so therefore it contributes to it. We've increased our help. This one here, help limit. We've had people that are running out of help limits, so we've increased it up to 7. To go to the next one is 80,000 pink coins, handshake coins. So that's where it's going to be a little bit tougher, but we'll work on that. Okay. So that's what each one of the pink coins goes to. Now, if I click on this little icon up here in the corner here, this icon here, if I click over here on that plus, that's going to show you how you can contribute. And it's only by rubies. Okay. I call them rubies. Some people call them gems. Some people even call them diamonds. So they've been called multiple different things, but yes, contribute to the gems. Donate 200. You'll be able to contribute 2,000 pink coins. Contribute 525, you get to contribute 5,550. 500. I can't even read today. Anyway, but you get the point. So depending on what you want to contribute, depends on what you donate to each of the actual guilds. If you was to look at your guild, you will see now each one has a different number on who's contributed to the actual guild. All right. And the goal is to get as many people as you can to contribute. All right. Because I honestly believe that if you get people to contribute to the guild, then they want to participate more in the guild. All right. So that's one of the features behind why I try to get some people to contribute at the same time. I don't force them to. I will mention it to them and bring it to their attention. But that's as far as that's concerned. Now, let's move on to projects real quick. The projects, which is the red building here, I just clicked on it without showing you here. Sorry about that. This red building right back here, okay, is where you get to select your projects. All right. And just to point this out to you, there is a bulletin board here that most people don't realize. There is a bulletin board here, okay, right there, that you can click on that you can post information in, okay. I post the information to literally tell, and as you can see, who contributes, who starts projects, when they finish, things like that. So there's a lot of information that happens in here, but I post exactly what it means to be in this guild, okay. So that's what's the basics to being in our guild. All right. In either case, that gives you indication there. But let's go into the actual guild for the projects. But before we do that, let's talk about level. Whoop, wrong key. Sorry. Guild power, or our guild level, is right up here. Okay. It's exactly where your level would be as when you're over top of the actual guild island. So with us being here, that 15 shows up. But if I go back over here, it comes back to my 30 and my level 30 and shows my icon. Okay, my profile. Now let's get back into here. So it shows that we're at level 15. And let's go into the project building. Project building gives you a list of projects down here at the bottom. Okay, so right off the bat, let's talk about selecting a project. If you notice that you have quite a few people on, you can select the highest number project you can run, okay, within each project. So what I'm trying to say here is that each one of these projects, doesn't matter which one you go to, actually has multiple levels to them, okay? And those multiple levels happen to be the stars that are down here at the bottom, okay? These guys right here actually indicate the levels of that actual project. As you can see here, Chili Challenge, we only have 1-star capability. To get to the next star, it tells you we have to complete this one more time and we will be able to unlock the 2nd star. On some of the others, we're already at 2 stars, okay? So we can actually run 2-star or 1-star. And this is where I'm talking about determining how many people are on. If you notice that there's a lot of people that's on and you believe you can get 2 stars done, 600 tomatoes in 6 hours, and where am I seeing all this at is the key. Right, what? Once again, wrong one, sorry. That's not very professional of me. But in either case, picking out which star and paying attention to how much time you have to do it, okay? And in some of these, that doesn't change, all right? As you can see here, 6 hours for 1, 6 hours for 2. Here we have 4 hours for 1, 4 hours for 2, 4 hours for 3, it goes right across. Actually, it seems like it stays. Okay. I didn't realize it stayed as 8 hours, but okay. Um, so I just learned something new. Anyway, but as you can see, each one has a different time frame for how long you get to do, and depending on how many people you have on, depends on whether or not you'll be able to achieve, 700 eggs, 1,400 eggs, 2,900 eggs. Okay. They're not always going in the same even path. So 1,800 milk, 3,600, 7,200. That stays 3,600 each and every time. Okay. That one's not, though. Going from 3-star to 4-star, that's doubling just those 2 stars. Whereas going from 36 to 72, yep, that went up. It doubled on each one of these. Whereas in here, 300, 600, 1,200. Okay, so it's doubling also. But 1,200 to 2,300 is not doubling, it's one less. Some of them are a little bit different than others. Okay, so if you come to a guild that has a lock, a project that has a lock on it, you can click on it and it won't tell you the name of the project or anything to that effect. Okay, each one has a different requirement. So this one here unlocks at 16. I know this is the carrot cake one. I don't remember what the full name of it is, but this one here is prank salad, which happens to be everything from Copper Ridge. Then you got maze, 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 and then you got the I think it's match made in heaven is what somebody called it. I can't remember, but it's something in reference to like that. So there's 2 of them I don't know full names of. I can't remember. I've already had a guild that was all the way to where it had all of them. In either case, so there's what you're looking at as far as projects. That gives you what to run. It's always best to run the maximum amount of stars as possible. Okay, because that's going to give you the most rewards and most points to every part of that. Okay, so as you can see, what I'm focusing on right this moment, just pointing out, happens to be is right down here. It tells you how much points you get towards your guild. Gold stars is going towards your guild, and how many coins you get for running that project. Okay, so if you was to run that project, on 2 stars, you go up from 6 to 24 on both of those. 7 to 28. Okay, we haven't finished in the 2 stars, but you can see it goes up to 36. 108. Each one of these gives a little bit more. Okay, so that's what you got to take a look at and see which ones you want to run to gain which points you want to run too. Unfortunately, it doesn't tell you. Yeah, there you go. It does on the guild. It will tell you what you need for your next. I can't get it to stay there. 1900. We're at 1817. So 83 points is what we need. No, to get to the next one, to get to level 16. So there's what I'm pointing out as far as the Guild Island's concerned. The different things in reference to the coins, the different things in reference to building the coins, donations. Guild Island also hosts the actual 2 tournaments, which happens to be, well, 1 tournament and the county fair. County fair is a tournament, but yet it doesn't have it in the name. So you have your guild tournament, which is right here. Guild tournament is the, let's see here. Guild tournament right there, and county fair right there. So that shows you where they're located at, okay, and where you would get the information for them when they're actually running. Hopefully that helps some people out on understanding different things here. Appreciate it. Thank you.